What's up? Alexo Crypto here. Shout out to you guys. Shout out to the Otter Gang. How we all doing today? Let's take a look at the Bitcoin price. Hope you're all doing well. Thanks for joining me. Thanks for clicking on the video. I appreciate every single one of you. All the comments, all the likes, all the subscribers. You guys make this happen. So I wanted to jump in and look at the Bitcoin price and give you an update after the CPI data has come out. Now, we got some movement finally, which is good, Now, I hope you guys are all safe, protecting your trades, not FOMOing in, and remember what we talked about yesterday on our stream about how price reacts. If we zoom in here to, let's go to our favorite on this channel, that 12-minute. Let's zoom out. We can see that just like before, we were talking about this yesterday, we'll get a Darth Maulwick. Now, what's a Darth Maulwick? Well, you can see right here, we got the little handle, and then we got the Darth Maul, right? And that printed, and then we got everybody bearish. We talked about this yesterday. Same thing. I feel like I'm repeating myself. Bearish. Everybody thinking we're going to dump because CPI data was not what was predicted. It was a little bit worse, so it was a bit bearish news, and yet we faked out to the bottom and we pumped up, right? Coming up to the previous range, not range highs, but previous range lows, I might say, at 22,000, where I did have an alarm which went off about 5 times at work, but guess what? I did not get into the trade. Now, I have this alarm set above if we do break above here now. But we faked out, we pumped up, we've ranged, we've come back up, we've touched again. I was thinking about jumping into a short, but I didn't because I was at work. And you know what? There wasn't enough signals for me to jump in. Now, it would have been a decent trade. It would have been a decent trade. There's nothing wrong. But for me, there was not enough confluence overall in order to jump into this trade. But with CPI data, inflation, whatever you want to call it, coming in a couple of percents not so bullish means that maybe we can be looking for some downturn here. Now, I want to go through and mark out some key levels on our charts so that we can see and understand that we do have this trend line here that we've been talking about for quite some time, and I believe is quite important. I think a lot of other people believe that it's quite important as well. So let's take a look at it and let's see that price has come down but hasn't touched this place yet, right? And we can see that it is looking to maybe pop up, but we also have on our weekly. Now remember, these weekly candle inputs are very strong. So I'm going to show you that I'm going to pull this one down here, this horizontal, and I'm going to pull this horizontal right here. Now we got a touch here and a touch here. We also have a touch here, and if we go back, we got a touch here, and maybe a touch here. But you can see that these two levels are very much respected. So what am I going to say? If you follow this channel, I'm going to say, hey, maybe we have a range. Maybe we have a range that we can trade, that we can possibly look for swing highs and swing lows, and that we can trade. So with this bearish news and being at the top of this range, what are we typically looking for? We're looking for a short. Now we're going to go through these time frames and look at market Cipher. We'll pull this up higher on our chart so we can see. We know that price has come down, worked its way down. It has semi-bounced off the FTX dump to our left here. It has bounced off of that. It's worked its way back up, and it's been rejected at the previous lows from before. That's what we're looking at here. So let's go through market Cipher. We can see on the 3-day that we've had the red dot printing. It is curling downwards. Money flow is still in the green. It hasn't come out into the red yet, right? On the daily and the 2-day, very similar story. VWAP below the 0 line. Now it switches on the daily because we do have a momentum wave down at the bottom, and we can see that a lot of people were talking about a bullish divergence here quickly and surely. I don't know where this would be, but this is supposed to be downwards, but there is multiple signs of that is being a bullish divergence on a lot of people's charts. For me, it's not that apparent. It may work out. It is hidden, so it might not be. See, there's a much clearer sign on the 18. So you can see it here on the 18 of the bullish divergence, right? There we go. So we'll pull that up. On the 18, that's a bullish divergence. But you can see as well that this has actually already brought us up quite some bit. So we got to watch. My key indicator right now is I am watching money coming out of the price. I'm looking for a crossover into the red. So overall, I'm watching the money flow on the higher term time frames to see if it will let me know about more downward action. Coming into the half hour here, or the half day, sorry, we can see same kind of deal, bullish, hidden bullish divergence, and price has worked up. It is wicked down. We kind of had a divergence here on this time frame, which brought us up pretty much to these highs, but it was also very much news. Now, you guys on the channel know how I feel about news. It really is just the markets moving in accordance to people's reaction to price data, right? So if we pull a swing high to the swing low here, we can see that we've come up and we've touched this 0.5 basically, which is a nice little level, right? Maybe if we pull this down, we can see that we're on a golden pocket, which is nice as well. So this could be a trade setup that we're looking for, right? We do have this golden pocket at the top of the range, right? We pull up our levels and support. We can see that we have it marked out as well. So let's mark that on our charts. Let's be ready to trade that. We also have an alarm, so we'll put the alarm back over here. And if we do come to it, maybe we look for a short trade. Because right now, what I wanted to get into is on the 4-hour time frame. We can see that money flow is in the reds, right? Same with this 5 and the 6. So money flow is in the red. You can see that we've come up and we're starting to curl over on the 4 hours, the 3 hours. We're getting a red dot on the 3 hours, right? For me, I'm looking for something like this where it can come up and then come down, where maybe I'll get a nice little divergence here and I can trade that and make a nice little profit off of. So these are the things I'm looking for. If I go down to the 1 hour, now let's get into what short-term time frames I'm looking to trade in order to jump into a trade and jump out of a trade, and where I'm looking to trade. So this key level that we've been talking about, this trend line, if we go to the weekly, just to have a quick peek, we can see that this is the trend line we're talking about that is being respected throughout the markets, and there's also one on the S&P 500. So we'll go into the hourly, and we can see that we are working our way down. So we are in, first of all, we identify what we're in. We're in a downtrend, right? Are we trying to make higher highs here and reverse the trend back up? That is the question. That's what we're looking for, is a reversal of market structure in order to send us back up to the previous range. Now we know the range above us is here. The range above us is basically here to here, right? So at 22.3 and at 24.2. That is our previous range. And that has held us down at the lower levels of that range. We weren't able to get above it today, probably because it wasn't terribly bullish news. Now, what do I see forming? What I see forming is definitely a range from here, maybe a little bit lower, right? We're looking at these lower levels here that, we haven't totally broken through into this range, but I'm thinking if we are going to, we might come a little bit lower and bounce along this trend line. Now, I think this trend line is what's going to dictate the total idea of the market. If we can hold this and bounce even along here and somewhere in between this range, I mean, there's going to be a lot of trades. Maybe we come up here. There's going to be a lot of trades throughout, right? So we're trying to catch the highs, which is around 22.3, and the lows, which are around 21,200, let's say, somewhere around there. Yeah. So I would give these lows not all the significance they deserve, because we have had, we had a bullish divergence here, right? If you look quickly, you can spot the bullish divergence, right? Higher highs, lower lows, higher highs on our market cipher B, which shows that there was a bullish divergence. It has brought us up, but I believe that has played out now. So what am I looking for? I'm looking for price to maybe, we have the news here, but maybe come up, attempt at this 22,300 level and either get rejected with bearish divergence, or wick out, get everybody bullish, grab some liquidation up here, and then dump it on us as well, right? We're going to need quite the volume to continue upwards, especially with the way the markets are looking, right? So we'll look at the volume right now. We can see that we clearly had this giant spike, but it has cooled down. It has cooled down, and guess what? It's only Tuesday or Wednesday where I'm from, so, we still got a reversal possibly in the markets to come. I find that the markets tend to flip on a Wednesday. It's been pretty bullish the last couple days, so maybe we look to flip and get bearish coming in tomorrow. So overall, we're going to trade the highs and the lows and look for entries. My entries would be at 22,340, maybe down to these lows here somewhere, but I'd be looking for these highs to hold and for us to have a swing failure pattern and dump. That would be the trade that I'm looking for right now. I'd be looking for a short. I'm not looking for a long. If I was to be looking for a long, I would simply pull my volume profile tool. I'd pull that across. I'd find my point of control, and then I would look to see if I could get a golden pocket. So I'd pull from top to the highs, and well, there you go. We got the 0.5 coming at the point of control, right? Maybe if I bring this up to the swing low, look at that. Look at that. So that looks like a nice confluence here. So I'm going to mark that on my chart as a key level for a retracement or a bounce. And this will definitely be a bullish scenario. So if we work, since we've worked up, maybe we work down, and then reversal pattern, bullish divergence, and somewhere around here, be looking for that to bring us back up. So these are my two levels, my two trading ideas right now. So that is how I'm looking to trade this. Now, when I get into these trades, I'm setting clear stop losses above the wicks, right? I would definitely want to be safe. If I'm shorting from here, I definitely want to get into a short position. Pretty good entry up at the top here, but I definitely want to leave myself some room, maybe up above this swing high from previous times. And then obviously I'm targeting down at the bottom of the range, which can be a nice scalp with a bit of leverage. You're making some good coin, right? And then obviously with this 21.8, I'm looking to jump into the long, and oops, that's not the long. Jump into the long and ride this, and hopefully that it flips this 22,260, comes up, flips it to support, and continues up. We need to flip this to continue our movement upwards. So let's go over and look at the S&P 500, take a quick peek at that, and get some confluence for our other levels. Now we can see on the S&P that we have this clear defined trend line that we have also on Bitcoin, right? And this trend line has dictated a lot of the action on the S&P, and it has shown us that, hey, look, trend lines are real, but also that support and resistance is real as well. So we've broken this, we've come out, and we've hit a key level of resistance, but a lot of people are looking for this to come back, retest this 4,300 or 4,000 to 3,900 zone and continue back upwards. So something like this, which would mean in the short term, possibly a dump for Bitcoin, right? Possibly a dump. Now we can see that we have come down and we've pumped back up, and it looks like we're going to revisit and possibly test this trend line and see what happens. I'm looking for a rejection here. I'm looking for the S&P to try but not succeed, right? We're kind of going sideways here. Now we go over to the Dixie. We know that the Dixie, it trades opposite to the Bitcoin. So if the Dixie's pumping, the Bitcoin's dumping. Very simple, right? So we can see what has happened. Well, it's clearly just working its way sideways and creating a range within the two ranges. So we have the range above and we have the range below, and we're ranging in the middle. Padawan Range Bender, how's it going? Good to see you. Thank you so much for being here. Much love. How's it? Alex O, how's it? It's good, man. It's good. My mom is actually here visiting from Canada in Australia. She just got off of her flight, and I'm here just trying to throw down the TA before I go and spend some more time with her. But yeah, man, I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. All is well, man. Thanks for asking. So, all is well. No worries, man. I'm just glad you made it here. So, we can see that the Dixie here is moving sideways in between these two ranges, which doesn't give us a sure decision, right? If it comes back down, then I believe Bitcoin is bullish. If it comes up, I believe Bitcoin is bearish. So we're watching this range within the two ranges to make sure that we get more confluence with our trades. If this starts pumping, we better watch out for Bitcoin to drop, right? Same with this. If it comes back in between this level, you can see it's been rejected multiple times, right? So this to me is very, very bullish on the Dixie, which means bearish on Bitcoin, right? So this looks bearish with a double bottom right here. This looks like it can work its way back into this range, which is bearish in my opinion. So maybe tomorrow we get a flip. Maybe there's a bigger reaction tomorrow with the actual data that came out this morning for us, or yesterday afternoon for you guys, right? So overall, those are my trade setups. I'm looking at 22,260 to try and jump into a short. This is where I'm looking. I'm looking at Bitcoin right now as a range in between two ranges, just like the Dixie. Now, I do believe that there are key levels to be watching as we move up or as we move down. Now, those key levels are definitely on the higher term time frame. So let's go out to the 4 hour. Let's zoom out and let's take a look. We have the CME gap here. Now, this is kind of far-fetched. It's pretty far, but it isn't completely out of reach. Look how fast we moved up here. Look how quick and sharp that movement is, right? Can we come back and get this CME gap, which normally gets filled? Absolutely. With Bitcoin, anything's on the table. We're here for the volatility. We're here because we know that up or down, we can extract profits from the market. We just have to be patient. So this CME gap is kind of a target for this channel, right? Also, we also have this level at 20,480. Now this is a fib. If we pull a fib from swing low, let's go really low. Let's go swing low. All the way down here. All the way to the top here, right? And I believe we have some confluences. Was it from the swing low or was it from this one here? It was from this one here. So it was the start of this run, right? We have the golden pocket right here at 19,318, right? We also have the 0.5 here right around 20,450. So these are the levels that I'm definitely looking for price to work down to. If we zoom out even further and we pull, even if we don't even pull volume, if we just get out our nice little VRVP tool and we look at volume here, and let's zoom out just a little bit, we can see how thick the volume is at the CME gap. It is thick as F, right? We can also see that the last huge area of volume and where it starts is at that 0.5 as well. So these are two key areas that I'm looking for price to come to naturally, because overall it looks like we might be forming an even bigger range. An even bigger range. Now, what would that range be? Now, if we're looking at an even bigger range, could this be an even bigger range? Something around here. This is something I'm thinking of, right? Is that we obviously had news here. So this area of the range, to me, is FTX. So let's not look at that range. Is this the range that we've been meaning to trade this whole time? Is this range in here? This is some of my thoughts. This is some of my ideas, right? And that would mean is that we're at the top of this range. We're at this top of the range until we get some very bullish signs, because we know that when we started to come down with all this news and all these things, that this range was lost, right? But this range was formed. Now, how have we gotten out of this bearish sentiment, market that, that's trending sideways? Have we had all these signs that, the bull market's coming back? Well, we've had multiple signs to say that we're consolidating. But if you go back in history and look at Bitstamp, every major bottom is put in with a double bottom. I haven't seen a double bottom yet. So I'm waiting. I'm waiting patiently. We've had this one here. I'm looking for something over here, right? Now, I am biased because I do want price to come lower so I can accumulate some more. But also, this is what the market and the price is showing me. So overall, I just suggest being careful out there. Look at how the market and the macro environment is reacting. These are my trade setups. I'm looking for a short from 22,260. And I'm also looking for a long from 21.8 depending on volume. If it passes 21.8 and I see a steady movement down, I will be looking to the bottom of the range over here around 21.2. And these are my trade ideas. So I hope that helps everybody who's watching. I hope that gives you some confluence throughout. I hope it shows you that, in this market, we can extract profits. I did not trade this because it happened at 12:30 at night for me, or in the morning. And you know what? Trading this, taking an interest rate timeout is sometimes good for the brain, right? It allows us to sit back, relax, and watch the fireworks go off without having to participate and ride a firework and maybe possibly explode our account, right? It's almost like the lowest area wasn't supposed to exist without Crooked Sam. That's what I was thinking as well. It's very interesting to look at it in that aspect. So who knows where price is going to go, but what we do know is that there are confluences, there are signals. I give my trade setups all the time in the Discord. So right now I'm looking for the short. We're at the top of this range right now. We will continue to trade the ranges, and hopefully if we get in decently enough that we can let the trade ride out and hopefully catch those bigger moves. So I hope this helps you all, but I'm going to go and spend some time with my mother because I haven't seen her in a couple of years. So God bless you all. Stay safe out there. Much love. I'll see you tomorrow. Take care and peace out. Amy? Yeah? What's for dinner? Wallaby. Can we have some llama with that, please?